Story time, so make sure you grab a snack, sit back, relax, and let's get on with the chisme. So I don't remember exactly what day of the week it was, but I remember I was having a really rough day at school. I noticed that my friend was getting closer and closer with her friend, which I had a crush on at the time. So then we were having lunch, and whenever she caught herself talking a little too much about him, she would cut it off because she knew that I liked him. We'll go ahead and call my friend Ali and my crush Jose. So then we were still at lunch when one of Ali's friend came over and she took her away so she could talk to her in private. The friend was a he, and he gave my friend a letter from my crush Jose. I seen her open the note, read it, and then I seen that she was low-key really happy. When she walked back over to our lunch table, she was jogging and smiling, which obviously gave it away that she was really happy. She got to our table and she sat down and she was like, hey, like, I don't want to ruin our friendship or anything of that sort, you know? But I have something important to tell you. Can you guess what it is? And I was like, what is it? She then said, I'm dating your crush now. Can you imagine how I felt? Like, I felt betrayed. I just stayed looking at her and I was just like, you know what? So after she told me she was dating my crush, I was like, you know what, it's okay. I told her that I was good even though I felt broken. And then she had the guts to hug me afterwards. I honestly dislike her now, and sometimes I even wish I never met her. But I also can't stop being friends with her because she's a really popular person. And the last time I had a disagreement with her, the entire class took her side, even though they didn't know anything about our argument that we had. So since I can't get rid of her, I just came to the conclusion that I'll never tell her who I like because I don't want her to date the person that I like again. If she did it once, she'll do it again. And I feel like I can't trust her with deep secrets at this point. One thing I do want to say though is that her boyfriend is really popular and surrounded by people all the time. And she told me once that he wasn't paying attention to her and she started crying. I did feel bad for her, but I also couldn't stop but to feel happy. I know it's wrong for me to feel that way, but it's kind of karma for her betraying me like that. So now I need advice on how to handle this situation, so if you guys could please help me and comment.
Okay, so a guy that I've had a crush on forever slid in my DMs and asked if I wanted to get dinner with him, and oh my god, I was so excited. So I told all my friends and they were so excited for me. I mean, like, this he's just a super popular guy and everyone likes him. He's so cute, so nice. I could not believe that this guy was like cold open asking me on a date, but I was so excited. I was like, well, I'm not gonna question it. I'm just gonna show up. So I get ready, I show up to the restaurant, he's already there. I asked where he was sitting and then I couldn't find him anywhere, and I look around, I see him sitting in the corner at a table with another girl. So what do you do? I don't know what to do, and I was like, oh, maybe it's definitely just like, I don't know what I was thinking, actually. I don't know why I'm trying to narrate what I was thinking. I just walked over to the table and he was like, hey, this is my friend. And I was like, okay. Like, I thought maybe she was just, I don't know, passing by. Nope. So I sit down at this table and he's like, how are you? And I'm like, good. How are you guys? Plural. He was like, oh, we're good. And then he starts just talking to her, doesn't give me any intro, any explanation. I'm confused. I really at this point still thought that maybe she was just like walking by and like happened to know him. But also she was like very comfortable in her seat. She ordered a drink. So it was like, oh my god. Is this like a 2-on-1? Are we like on The Bachelor right now? Imagine a guy you really like asks you on a date and you show up and he's also on a date with another girl at the same time. What do you do? I don't know what to do. And it's not even like it was like a group like thing because she wasn't talking to me at all. Yeah, I know. I'm mad too. The waiter comes and asks what we want to eat, and I was like, this is definitely her cue. Like, she definitely has somewhere more important to be. Nope. She orders an entree. So the three of us go on a date. We're on a date together. And I was literally in shock. Like, I didn't know. And then I started gaslighting myself. I was like, wait, why did I think this is a date? Like, it's definitely just a fun group thing. But what kind of fun group thing is that when neither of them are really even talking to me? So, and also a single guy asking a single girl to get dinner with her. Isn't that a date, right? I don't know. That's a date. So now it's time to leave. And I feel like I did not say 4 words to this guy, but he asked if I wanted to ride home. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'm down. We get in the car and he kisses me. So what is this? Was that a date? I don't know. I was in shock. I don't even know why I let him kiss me when that was the weirdest thing I've ever done. After, he texted me and asked me what I thought about his Instagram. And I was like, it's a guy's Instagram. What do you want me to say? And he was like, no, I mean, like, I've been thinking about hiring someone to run my Instagram. And I was like, so that was a group interview to win a job, I guess, and someone to make out with? Why did he make out with me if he was trying to hire me? For like 10 minutes, by the way. So yeah.
No, but I am gonna tell you a mini story time about something that happened to me a few weeks ago. Okay, you ready for the chisme? Okay. So like 3 weeks ago, I had this really sharp pain in my stomach. It was so bad. Like, it was so bad to the point where I couldn't walk, and it was on the lower left side, or sorry, right side of my stomach. Now with me, I wait until like I'm to the point where I'm dying to go to the hospital. And throughout the entire week, I was in really bad pain and my boyfriend kept telling me go to the hospital, and I didn't want to. So then this one morning, I felt so sick and I was in so much pain. I was like, you know what, I'm going to the hospital. Now nobody could take me because everybody had to take like their kids to school. My boyfriend was still at work. He gets off at 9. I was like, I'm just gonna drive myself. I hop in my car and I start driving to urgent care, but then I was like, wait, what urgent care am I going to? I didn't know the exact address to the urgent care, so like I pulled over on the side of the street. I'm parked next to a sidewalk and I'm on my phone looking at the address. And for some reason I looked up and I seen this man. I was on my phone, I was in a lot of pain, trying to find this urgent care address, right? And like I said, I looked up and I seen a man walking. After that, I looked back down on my phone, but then for some reason, I looked back up and I was watching him and he was walking on the sidewalk at first. He was a white man. He kind of looked like a hippie. He had black glasses on, like a bandana on his head. It wasn't covering his face, but like it was around his hair. Then all of a sudden, he gets off of the sidewalk and he starts walking against my car and he tries to open my back door. It all happened so quick. When I tell you I drove off so fast, like I didn't even care if I ran over the man's foot. I dipped. I was not waiting for him to get inside of my car. When I drove away, I did look back though and I seen him standing there and he was like no expression on his face. So after that, I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, maybe he was waiting for an Uber, but I didn't see a phone in his hand. And I've taken Uber before. Like, you know where your Uber's parked at. You know what the car looks like. And I don't know about you guys, but I always check the license plates to make sure it's actually the Uber. He didn't do any of that. He didn't even have a phone in his hand. Now, my windows are pretty dark. They're tinted. So if he was trying to get into the car, I think he was trying to get in the backseat because you can't see that anyone's back there. So he could have been telling me to do this and do that and nobody's gonna see that he's there. Thank God my doors were locked though, and I can say that if he did manage to get into the car, I would have crashed my car automatically because I'm not going anywhere he wanted me to go.
Hi guys, story time on how my best friend broke into my dad's house. So this actually happened the day before Father's Day. And basically, we told my dad that I was gonna arrive around like 4 p.m. and he lives about an hour away. After driving for around an hour, we finally arrived at my dad's house. And the worst part was we started knocking on the door and no one would answer. Like, we went around the whole house to different doors and just no one answered. So I ended up texting my dad and he replies like 5 minutes later while we're waiting outside and he's like, oh, he says this, he's 2 hours away picking up goats. Like, I had no idea of this and I planned this like a week before that I would be coming at 4. Me and the girls reply with this photo as we're stuck outside the house. But if you knew me and my friends, obviously we were gonna find a way in. So we ended up going around the house trying to push the windows in, you know, trying just to open them, until me and Caitlin are around the other side of the house and we hear Bailey scream, I got in. And we're like, oh, okay, she probably found a door or something. And then we find this. Bailey was literally crawling into the window. And it wasn't like it was just like an open window. It was literally a window that she broke in. Like, it got pushed inside and went in the living room. The window did. Anyway, we go ask her to unlock the door, and she goes all the way around and unlocks it, and I come inside, and we have to put the window back in and, like, manually make sure it's okay, because the window literally fell inside. Like, it wasn't, like, the screen. It was the window. Was inside the house. Anyway, he didn't come back for 5 hours. So we stayed there and left, like, close to midnight when it was an hour away. Okay. Anyway, that's how my best friend broke into my dad's house right before Father's Day.